Hello and welcome to today's webinar on business messaging with Sendbird, where you're going to learn a lot about our latest developments in the world of communications technology. I'm your host, Jack Wei. I'm on the marketing team at Sendbird. I promise this is worth sticking around for. And let me walk you through today's agenda. So, of course, we got to go through the obligatory introductions where you're definitely not going to hear only from me. So I'll bring up an expert from our product management team. Then I'm going to walk through the Sendbird platform where you'll learn all about our technology, what you can do with it. This part's important because we're widely known as a chat company, but so much investment has gone into in the last couple of years with perhaps the most exciting development to share today about business messaging. And when we get into that, of course, you're going to hear about the pain points and solution this technology solves, how we do it via product demo, and then, of course, diving deeper into a technical walkthrough in the product itself. But first, let's get back to the first agenda item and hear me out on exactly what we're doing. So I'd like to take a quick minute to introduce everybody here to Chase Kim, who will be my presenter of the day to walk through business messaging. Chase, can you take a few seconds to introduce yourself?
Yeah, thanks, Jack. Hi, my name is Chase, and I will be presenting business messaging. I am part of the team of product within Sendbird. Thank you.
All right. So without further ado, let me get into it. To set the stage, Sendbird is on a mission to build connections in a digital world because we believe that conversations are at the heart of building relationships and really getting anything done in this world. And whether that's between businesses and people or people with one another, communications, we can all agree, make the world go round. And so we're working towards this mission by building out what we call the Sendbird Communications Platform. And I have to take a minute to really just kind of pound our chest a little bit to share that more than 4,000 of the world's most popular apps, including apps that you've definitely used like DoorDash, Paytm, Weight Watchers, Walgreens, Traveloka to book travel and flights and hotels, and Noom for healthcare, are all powered by Sendbird behind the scenes. We're now routing over 7 billion messages at this point every month for over 300 million users. So let me show you how an abstracted view of our platform that really delivers a seamless communications experience. Every business, of course, needs and wants to reach and engage their customers. So what happens is they need to send a one-way business message, we call it, whether that's through SMS, push notifications, email, maybe WhatsApp or public messaging apps, or in their own apps, which we, of course, consider the most valuable channel. That message is then delivered into the app or some sort of setting where users can interact because that's how things are set up. Your customer receives a message, decides to engage, maybe not. And this is where an AI experience can come in through the form of a chatbot, springing into action to really deflect FAQs before a bot's a human handoff with that seamless transition. And hey, with this experience, hopefully the customer is happy or not. And that initiates that two-way conversation that Sendbird historically is known for. When your customer inevitably wants to share the experience, whether it's with a friend, family member, or colleague. What I want to highlight here is that this is a seamless, persistent experience that's all happening in the most valuable digital channel for most businesses around the world at this point, and your brand and the brand, which is your app. Let me zoom into the left-hand column into business messaging to set the stage for Chase. We embarked on this journey because many of our customers were complaining about how expensive yet ineffective their existing customer communication stack had become. And it's not really surprising, is it? Right? This feeling of clutteredness, bloatedness, and just messages coming in through from one year out the other, because people are spammed left, right, and center. The same message is essentially being sent through all channels all at once. As business operators, we all strive towards an excellent customer experience, and we think omni-channel is the holy grail, but it's not sequenced properly, and it's not done in a cost-effective way. What's worse is that the development time, as well as the resources that go into building this functionality in the first place, is really, really high. And that happened because there really has been no easy solution in the market. And a lot of business messaging capabilities had to be done either in-house and skeleton or Frankenstein together, or stitching together kind of external tools that were either one channel at a time or built for one small niche use case. What we're doing here is to really bring it all together. Our sole mission, yes, to the world is to build connections in the digital world, but it's to help our customers, to help you make every interaction count throughout your customer journey, to make sure that the right message is delivered to the right place at the right time. So with that, let me stop rambling a little bit and pass the baton to Chase to walk through Sendbird business messaging.
Thank you, Jack. Let me start sharing my screen. So I have here the business messaging Sendbird dashboard. You can see the screen you're looking at are notification channels, and this is the first step that any business has to take when they want to send notifications or business messages through us. You can obviously see there are some channels you are familiar with, like SMS and maybe push notifications, and some that you might not be using, such as in-app feeds, chat, or WhatsApp/KakaoTalk. So once this setup is complete, the next step is to create templates, and I'll actually show you how to create these live together. Let's actually imagine that we're in a use case where deliveries is what you do, what your app does, and you want to send a delivery confirmation over all of the different channels that you just set up. So let me actually create a key and start to add the different channels you want to use for something like deliveries. Again, right now, you probably are sending these through SMS or email. And the pain point there is that these are obviously not within your app, but at the same time, it's very costly and the open rates are very low. So I've just added 3 channels, and let me actually proceed to creating the content around these channels. Let me start with a notification center. I've created just a blank template. I'm going to upload a very, very generic image, and then move on to show you how we can customize this experience. So let me write the title. And actually, the next thing I want to kind of talk about is how you can personalize these messages. So obviously, you don't want to send something generic. We have something called a variable. So imagine this could be something like a first name, but in this case, it would be a delivery time, right? When the order is expected to deliver. So you can all set these here, and then your server or manually send all of these notifications to your users. The next thing I want to do is I will remove a button, and I'm going to write maybe track my order for this case. And as a bonus, we can actually kind of design this here live. So let me actually design this, a Sendbird themed button. Once that's done, the content of that notification has been created. And this is again for that in-app notification center. Obviously, that's not it. Let me move on to create some of the content of other channels. Let me move into just copying and pasting these. Another thing you can do is add actually data. So when a user receives this push notification, you obviously don't want to just open the app. You want to route to a specific screen with a specific delivery highlighted. Again, you can add all of these here and trigger these through our APIs or even manually on our dashboard. So let me move on to the last channel, and the last channel is SMS. And here is another pain point that we've seen a lot and again and again. SMS is very limited in that you can actually add only maybe 160 characters depending on what region you are. So here's an example. It's not really personalized, but you can write text. So that's what I've done. You can't really do anything else. So once these channels and the content within these channels are set, that's when you configure the rest And when I mean configure, I want to mainly talk about sequences and why sequences are so important to a notification workflow. So a sequence is something that we created. Again, going back to how you're using notifications now, is probably you're spamming users across SMS, push, email, etc. We actually want to provide a solution where you can sequence, not spam, sequence the notifications across the different channels. So for example, here, this is a scenario where you first send a message across to your in-app and then, push at the same time. You wait 10 minutes and you can actually change these conditions and then you fall back into SMS. So the idea is cost savings. You don't have to necessarily hit SMS or WhatsApp all the time. You can choose your most economic channels first and then fall back to the ones that you absolutely need to. So for example, a delivery confirmation, I want to set the condition as viewed. And as long as the user has viewed this message in the app, you don't really have to send an SMS because they've acknowledged it. Maybe for a push notification, I want to wait until the user has clicked it and check. Let's actually set this to maybe 30 minutes. So in this scenario, again, we wait until the user has either viewed this notification in the app or has clicked that push notification. And then if that doesn't happen, we fall back into SMS. So besides cost savings, another thing I do want to mention is higher deliverability without sacrificing user experience. So again, spamming is used because it delivers the message across all channels, but it doesn't take into consideration the user experience when that user is receiving notifications from your marketing team, your operations team, your support team. Sendbird notifications, Sendbird business messaging actually sequences all of this and provides the ability for product managers to control all of this and view how many messages are going out into what channels and who's sending all of these notifications. So let me actually create this. There are some other categories that I need to fill. So these are pertaining to in-app channels, the in-app notification feed. I can label this as an order alert, and you can see here on the upper left. Last but not least, you can set message retention so that it doesn't stay for 180 days. A message like this doesn't necessarily have to stay after the order has been complete. So let me actually change this to 5 days. Moving on, I can create this notification. And once this is done, the next step is obviously send this. You don't manually send delivery confirmations. These come from your systems, meaning your transaction systems, your delivery systems, your logistics. But today, instead of showing that, I will show you a very simple way to manually send notifications through our Sendbird dashboard. So let me actually choose Chase myself and go through the process. I'm showing you delivery confirmation, but this could be a promotion. So this is a promotion that you can see that I've pre-created, and this could be any type of message that you imagine. Again, some of these are from your systems, but also some of these are manual and to a bulk number of users. Once I've done that, let me go to compose this, and I'll name this a test. Another small, minor, but important thing are tags. So the idea is you have multiple teams coming in, sending notifications. You need to understand how to categorize these different notifications from different teams. So here's one. Maybe you have an engineering department using a single tag and then another tag just for all orders. And then obviously comes variables. And let me actually set this to 2 p.m. Obviously, this is not from manually done. This is information provided by your systems. So once that step is complete, you can obviously check all of the content, make sure this is all correct, and send that notification. Once the notification is sent, the other very important thing is to understand if that notification has gone through, if it actually was delivered, if not, why it wasn't delivered. So we provide a few mediums in order to do that. This is called logs, and this is just an aggregate view of all messages going through in real time and in batch. So to go into the one I just sent, I'll just show you. You can see exactly when it was sent, who it was sent by, and what the actual message was. So going over in-app and push, you can see that these are the different messages that that user has received. Or batch notifications, which is again notifications to a bulk number of users. This is important. You can track the conversions, the delivery rates, etc. The second depth into analytics are user insights. And I think this is important because a lot of our customers talk about their support teams having zero visibility into what communications are going out into their users. So they oftentimes exchange screenshots of that push notification or that SMS. What user insights allows businesses to do is actually track on a user level, this is myself, Chase, what this person has received, what the content was, which channels these reached, and if there was a sequence, if there were impressions, clicks, and custom events. So that is the last part of the demo I wanted to share. I'm going to hand it back to you, Jack. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Chase. Hey, I'm always really impressed by how much subject matter expertise you bring to the table, especially when it comes to business messaging and just really delivering an ideal communications experience. So thanks again. And I'm also very jealous about how you can pretty much do demos in your sleep. I got to get there myself one day. And, I have to say, even though most Sendbird customers are leaders in product and engineering, when I watch what you just walked through as a marketer, as an executive, as someone who cares about customer service and customer experience, it's super exciting because when I look at user insights and the analytics, like I want to be able to use this. If only we had an app ourselves. Anyway, I'm clearly biased, but before I wrap up, I do want to spend a little bit of time on this more detailed version, visual of the Sendbird platform. As you can see, it really has been built for businesses to impact every step of your customer journey, with all forms of messaging, whether it's in-app or now out of the app, omni-channel, whether it's from starting with one-way business messaging only or inclusive of two-way user engagement in a middle column, or all the way through to the right side of autonomous conversations with AI. We all need that these days, right? As a business, whether it's you, your developers, your other departments, you can now implement any of these solutions through our communications platform as a service or the SaaS model, right? If you look on the second row, that there's a lot of out of the box tools and dashboards that allows easy deployment and connecting to other tools and workflows that's maybe your teams already have in place, right? On the third row, in terms of the integrations, whether it's the marketing technology like Braze or CleverTap, whether it's a CRM like Salesforce, whether it's 7 public LLMs that we are pre-integrated with, or private ones that you might want to host yourself if you're a large company. And all of it on a secure, compliant, global messaging infrastructure that's powering close to actually now 10 billion messages a month. So with that said, if you're interested in learning more, do not hesitate to reach out. We are more than happy to talk. Visit sendbird.com/request-a-demo to set up a meeting with us, and we'll walk you through more details. Thank you, and enjoy the rest of your day.